Hi, welcome to the Holism video blog, and today I'm going to be taking you through a strength training hack that's really designed to improve your plyometric strength capability. So I'm talking about post-activation potentiation, or PAP. Now PAP is not new. PAP has been around for a long time, and it's a well recognised as an effective method of improving plyometric strength. It's very quick and it's reasonably simple to put together. What you're doing is you're pairing biomechanically similar movements and putting them together. So you're putting together a strength movement and then an explosive movement. In our case today, we're going to work with a squat that I'd be using to try and progress into a box jump. Now, what we're doing, both of those are vertical, they're vertical force vector exercises, so they work quite well together. You could also use, say, a loaded sled push into an unloaded sled sprint, or you could take an unloaded sled sprint into an unloaded sprint, or a bench press push into unloaded throws. And basically what you're doing is you're tricking the nervous system into thinking that it's still pushing the heavy weight, but then you're taking that weight away. And when you take the weight away, it's effectively like telling the nervous system that it's about to go and throw a shot put, but really you're only going to give it a softball. Okay? And when you've potentiated those high threshold fast twitch motor units, they're ready to throw the shot put, but you give it a softball and it goes much, much further. Now, what we're going to do today is we're going to take advantage of a visual motor drill, so a functional neurologic stimulus that is going to fire all of the extensor chain muscles in the body. That's going to give us a boost or give us an increase in available musculature that will feed into this exercise. So when I jump into this one, I'm going to do my horizontal saccade or my visual motor drill first. Then I'm going to do the strength component. I'll rest for about 45 to 60 seconds because we're only working with body weight, and the intensity is coming from bombarding the sensory cortex with a whole heap of extra feedback by trying to have to work extra hard and really pay attention to how the body is getting into position. So the other big benefit to this and working with body weight is that you can do it anywhere, anytime, and with no setup. So the downside to post-activation potentiation, when I've used it in the past, is that having to take the time to set up all of the heavy weights and then rest effectively and then go and do the sprint or the plyometric exercise, it takes time, it can be cumbersome, and you may find that clients don't feel, unless they're athletes who are focusing specifically on sprint or whatever the exercise, whatever the drill is, they feel like they're perhaps not getting as much bang for buck out of the session as they possibly could be. When you use body weight and you can throw it at them really, really quickly, in the recovery time they can do the visual motor stimulus, and then they can get straight into the plyometric exercise where they can then see a change. You'll find it tends to work pretty well. So first things first, my horizontal saccade, which is designed to fire all of the extensor chain muscles, I'm going to take thumbs out. Both eyes need to be able to see each thumb, and then from here the head's not going to move, my eyes are just going to flick back and forth. Only go as fast as you can actually focus, not getting the head to go side to side, just the eyes. So that is going to fire all of the ventral horn cells in the spine. So 31 pairs of nerves in your spine, and all of the information to those 31 pairs of nerves projects out of the front of the spine and goes out to the muscles. When you use that functional neurologic stimulus, what you're doing is you're increasing the signal that's going out to all of those muscles. So when we're then working specifically with a group of muscles in this exercise, all of them are more likely to want to try and get involved, and that's going to increase the available strength that we have when we then go into the plyometric exercise. So saccade first, and then our squat pattern looks a little bit like this. So from here, you can put your hands under the arch of your feet, you can grab a hold of your ankles, whatever works. If the client is limited in dorsiflexion, then you may need to put wedges under the heels. I'm going to put my two middle fingers are going to go either side of the ball of each foot. So if I get down here, fingers go under, and then I have to work hard to pull myself into position. So as I come down into position, I'm going to slowly start to build up tension. I'm going to pull the shoulders down, and now I'm having to work really hard through the extensor chain to hold myself there. I'm now going to start to try to squat up, and I'm just going to hold myself. So first thing is make sure your spine is in neutral. We're not keen on doing this one with a flexed spine. I take myself, my I'm increasing the intensity from about 40% up to 60%, 60 up to about 80, and then from 80, once you've done this several times, you can look to go for a maximal effort. So I'm going to drive up as hard as I can for about 5 seconds, and then rest. Once I've done my 5 seconds, I'll rest for about 15, and then I'll go again. Typically with post-activation potentiation, you're at maximal loads, you're really only looking for about 2 to 3 repetitions, and then you could be resting for anywhere from say 1 to 3, maybe even a little bit more minutes. In this one with body weight, 45 seconds to 60 seconds is quite effective. In that 45 to 60 seconds, you can then repeat your visual and motor stimulus, and then you can go and do the plyometric exercise. You'll find that you'll get a bit of an increase. Now your increases will be, if you just use post-activation potentiation, the literature will tell you it's about 2 to 7% that you'll get in increases. I tend to find it's maybe a little bit more noticeable with that one when I add the saccades into it and when I'm really concentrating on that sensory feedback. So have fun with it, get creative. You can get creative in your biomechanically paired exercises. Let us know how you get on.